Jon Stewart is the man who ran. When you think about Daily Show, you only think about one name. You think about Jon Stewart, right?
Yes.
On the left, is not a fan of Trump, is not a Republican, but here's a group of people bashing America, and I want you to see how Jon Stewart reacts and defends America. Go ahead and play it.
We believe we've got a few weeks before it starts, and we're just putting together kind of the teams.
You have a doubt about France, but I have also a doubt about the US. You know, what is required from us is not to invade other countries like you did.
I'm afraid, as far as I'm concerned, the US were the biggest destabilizing influence.
We know that America was built on genocide, slavery, and colonialism.
America was built on freedom.
Freedom for who, though?
Americans.
You got to stop this America first. Because all the lunatics
America
here,
first.
they love saying, well, then it's Hungary first, it's Germany first, but not everyone can be first.
That's the point of America first, is not everybody can be first, it's us.
Well, but that's a bit contradictory with your plan of being the captain of the team. Because when you're a captain of the team, you don't say America first. What you say is you stand with some principles that can unite your team. So the problem with your America first...
I'm gonna stop you right there.
America first is America alone.
What?
World War III.
Okay, pause it right there. So you see that. What do you think about Vinny?
I think, well, dude, at the end of the day, if America isn't first, what's the world going to look like? I mean, yes, we get involved with a bunch of crazy stuff, but we are the beacon. We are the standing force. And if God forbid anything happens to us, all those people with all the weird accents, their shit's going down quick.
But by the way, let's change. Let's say it's China first. What does the world look like?
Oh my!
Let's say it's Russia first. What does the world look like?
Really?
Let's say it's Iran first. What does the world look like? Let's say it's India first. What does the world? Let's say it's Germany first. What does the world? Let's say it's France first. What does the world look like? Let's say it's any of those countries first. What does the world look like?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's say when that. You remember that guy Hitler? If he wanted, he kept going, and it was Germany first. What would we wouldn't be here?
But I love the fact. Let me tell you what I love this.
Yeah.
You know what I love this? This is the best part about this clip here, and Tom, I'm coming to you next. You know what's the best part? The best part is when sometimes stupidity from the other side forces you to agree with somebody that you would have never in a million years. Can you imagine within 50 seconds, Jon Stewart went from a liberal to sounding like an America First guy campaigning for Trump?
100%.
How weird does that sound? Tom, when you see this, what do you think about?
Well, I see I see the poison of globalism in the faces of everybody else. Everybody else wants everybody to be equal, but they don't understand it doesn't work that way. It didn't work that way for Austria-Hungary. It didn't work that way for Germany. It didn't work that way for Spain and Portugal during the age of exploration that was funded by gold and the kings and queens. It didn't work. It worked when America showed up talking about freedom, and nobody was a Spaniard. Nobody was Portuguese. Nobody was German. We all became Americans under a constitution and an ability to live here freedom. There is no race in America. We're everywhere. We are everyone from somewhere. That's who we are. And I see the poison of globalism here that wants to take down the very thing that has been the beacon of defense. What does Europe look like if the U.S. doesn't get together with the U.K. in World War I?
Yep.
What does Europe look like if 30 years later, if the United States doesn't get together with the UK and a half conspiratorial and half hiding France to help it? What does the world look like? Go take a look at what Japan was doing in Southeast Asia in World War II. Go read it. They are our friends. They are a strong ally. They are a capitalist country. They are thriving. But go back and look what their emperor was doing in 1940 and what they were doing to the Chinese into doing these. And go look at what comfort women were, where they would imprison these Chinese women and make them, prostitutional slaves for the military. Go take a look. And then you put freedom on there, you put respect for the individual, and you put it forward. And this is where everybody wants to come. There is not an immigration line at the door of, Hungary or any of these places. There's not.
Forget it. I'm done. I'm voting for Tom, guys. It's over with.
Wait,
Tom's got my vote. Go ahead, Adam.
Yeah, well, during COVID, we learned the term the Great Reset, right? I believe what happened during COVID is one of the most impactful things of our lives, not so much health-wise, awareness-wise, but politically. What we've seen is all the lies and all the malaise and all the media, the fake news, if you will,
good accent,
has sort of been realized. And if you just look at sort of the canaries in the coal mines, the bellwethers, look at where Bill Maher is these days. Look at where Elon Musk is these days. Look at where Joe Rogan is these days. These guys were on the left. Same with me. These are classic liberalists. Joe Rogan proudly said he was going to vote for who?
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie
Bernie
Sanders.
Sanders.
Elon Musk was not a Trump guy. Okay? Jon Stewart, not a Trump guy. But what's happening around the world today is making people with common sense say, yeah, I don't know about that, bro. I don't. Osama bin Laden is the good guy now?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, what happened?
This is what's going on? Because all these people who are 40 and over, including myself, realized that when we watched the movies, when we watched Rocky back in the 80s and 90s, we rooted for Rocky, not Ivan Drago from the Soviet USSR.
If he does,
when we
he
watched
dies.
Indiana Jones, we rooted for Indiana Jones, the American, not the Nazis. Okay, when we watched True Lies with Arnold Schwarzenegger, we rooted for Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis, not the Islamic terrorists known as Crimson Jihad. And finally, it's the equivalent of not rooting for the Avengers and rooting for Thanos. So, Thanos. Sorry.
Thanos is Armenian. That's
Yes.
like,
Okay.
Thanos Johnny Smith says.
I watched all those movies.
Thanos.
So, there's
Nico would correct you right now if you would.
Thanos.
Yes,
Yeah.
it would've.
We all
But
know
go
what
ahead.
I meant here, guys.
I am Iron Man.
But there's the reality that people with common sense are saying, nah, I'm on Team America. And here's a little hot tip for people. No offense to PBD and his people. Whatever team current mafia-like regime Iran is on, just take the other side. Because Iran is backing Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, Islamic Jihad. That's the regime that's going on in Iran these days. That's the reason, that mentality, that someone as great as Patrick Bet-David cannot return to Iran. That's the reason that someone like Bassem Youssef, for all he says, cannot return to Egypt.
Well, just to
How do I say his name?
It's Bassem. You've been Bassem him. People were
What
like,
is his
at
name?
least it's Bassem Youssef.
That's what I said,
No, you've been
Bassem.
saying Bassem.
You're like taking both
You're
and
like
putting it together.
potato, potato.
Basif Yosef Basif.
Potato, patata,
Okay.
Hamas,
Pat.
whatever.
I love
with all the butchering of certain words that you do.
I think you're catching up to me. You're on track to be right there next to me.
But the
here,
reality is, I'm on Team America. We're all on
Love it.
Team
Great.
America.
I love it.
And that's where you need to be.
Awesome.